that evil lurks in the hearts of men. The shadow knows.
Hey everyone, how's everyone doing out there? Wow, oh boy, what a day. Hope everybody's been having a fun day today. And so welcome to the second run of the Midnight Run. So tonight we're going to be discussing a couple news articles that I saw the last couple of days here that I think everyone needs to know about, and just so they can be aware of it and plan around it accordingly. First thing off, no snow. I mean, I'm looking all the way out through next Thursday night. No snow. There's a couple rainstorms, but hey, rainstorms are fine. They really don't cause any problems. It rains a little bit, sprinkles a little bit. I can still do stuff. I can still work in the garden a little bit, so it's not pouring down really hard. I can, work out in the shop fine and do stuff without, as long as it's not freezing and just absolutely miserable. The low tonight is supposed to be 40 degrees. It's warming up a little bit. Sunday night, it hits 50 degrees for the low. And let's see, I'm just checking up here farther. Tuesday night, it hits, where was it here? 45 is back down to 45 for the low. Monday night's 50. Yeah, so we're going up and down a little bit, and I have a rainstorm coming in on Thursday. So, but hey, that's not bad considering. So let's go ahead and say hi to everybody that's in here in the side chat. First one in was Phelan Clan Wolf, one of my scouts from years ago. Howie, Food Forest Permaculture. Super Scouts lurking there at work. I told him not to get caught. Kaylin Strain's here. Hey, Kaylin, how's it going? Garden State Gardener's here. Hey, Joe. MT Coiner, sorry. How you doing? I gotta get with you, MT, to talk about having you up on either here or over on Tactical Tuesday. Talk about the coinage stuff you emailed me about. All righty, and that's all the ones that are in here so far that are talking. We got 10 watching, 11 thumbs up, and so, hey, if you're lurking, that's fine. I understand that some people don't like to log into, they just like to listen to stuff, but hey, this is partially driven by your comments, so if you want to help drive the conversation tonight, you can get logged in on YouTube, it's off your email, whatever, and then just you can make comments and stuff. All right, so let's jump over here. Okay, we see. Oh, MT says that it's Montana. I'm just going to call him MT for short. Feels like it's been raining for / snowing nonstop for weeks. All righty, so let me pull up my email on the side here so I can read off of it. All right, so on the good side, we're going to start with the good side here, the good fun side. This Sunday night is is a lunar eclipse. It's called a blood moon total lunar eclipse. And if you want to know where it is, you can just Google, the May 2022 lunar eclipse, and you'll get one of the pop-ups there, and it'll tell you where you can, different ones like a star nav or whatever, or track the sky, a couple of them like that. They'll tell you, where it's best, where you can view it at, the best times and everything else. Hey, Gear, how's it going? And it's so I mean, it's going to be a cool one. I mean, looking at the photos and stuff they from the last time around, it was intensive looking. It was cool. Unfortunately for me, actually, let me see if it changed the weather here for me for Sunday. Sunday night, partly cloudy. Ugh, dang it. Yeah, I got partly cloudy most of the nights, all the way through. Oh, well. Can't win them all. Hey, Sandra Moody, how's it going? All righty. So, all right. So that was the first thing. Well, I get these news blips from something called Patch. It's a national network of news agencies for local ones. And since I was signed up when I was down in Martinez, to get the Martinez Patch one because I'm still interested in what happens in California. Anyways, so that was the one. We go back here to the thing, and the other one also came off of Martinez Patch. And this is one that, even though it's for California, guys, it's going to affect everybody in the friggin' nation. Hey, Terry Christ, how's it going? So this news article that came out 4 hours ago. Okay, and it says California minimum wage pushed up by unprecedented inflation trigger. And I froze. So it was pushed up by an unprecedented inflation trigger. So let me hop into the story here. So California instituted the $15 an hour minimum wage for companies that had more than 25 employees, and 14 for companies with 25 or less employees. And it increased a couple of years back, but it was done over phases in different years. It started in 2016, but kept raising it every couple of years, kept raising until it got to the 15. Okay. One of the things in that law was that if there is a 1 year increase of inflation more than 7%, then that kicks in a trigger to, I guess it adds 50 cents to the minimum wage there in California. Well, let's see here. All right, for the financial year, which ends in June, it looks like it's going to be 7.6% higher than the year before and trigger the increase. However, looking at some of the other ones, last month jumped to 8.3% from the previous year. Gee, I wonder why. Well, we're not going to get too deep into this and get into trouble, but my wife's an accountant. She can explain it much better than me. But basically, it's like if the people that are selling goods have to raise the cost, the salary of their employees, that raises their net cost expenditures, which means they have to increase prices to break even or make where they were before. So they got to keep raising prices every time they are forced to give pay raises. So since the state has been kicking these pay raises in to bring it up to $15 an hour, they've been having to raise their prices. Well, that tied into what's been going on and the fact that the Fed raised the interest rate 0.25%, and everybody freaked out, and everybody's been jumping on it, raising, in the banking industry. I mean, home loans now are up to 5.25%, 5.5% on the average home loan. Hey, Rita, how's it going? So basically, the Fed kicked off this big surge of inflation because everybody's kicking stuff up, everything's going up, and then you got California doing its minimum wage thing, kicking things up. So anything produced in California is going to have a higher inflation rate on it now because of this law they passed that we have to raise minimum wage to match inflation, even though inflation has been artificially created because we raised salaries across the state, thereby causing all the employers to have to raise the cost of the goods they're selling. So the goods they're selling will have inflation on it. You see, it's a vicious circle, catch-22. So, but anyways, and then so this is just going to be going, up there for rates. Now, if your state has passed a minimum wage law, you can look forward to a little bit of that in your state as well. Now, I'm trying to keep up on the chat in case anybody fires anything off in there. So with California's law that automatically kicks in 50-cent pay raises, things are going to get ugly. Oh, no sound. All right, Rita. All right, so that's one of the things coming on from California. Okay. One of the things in the same article, and the news of the bump comes on top of the great nuisance, the governor of the state, the great nuisance administration proposing to send $1,000 checks to workers in hospitals and nursing homes in recognition of their dangerous work during the Red Dragon. About 600,000 workers would be eligible for the money. Okay. And they're trying to get companies to agree to add another $500 bonus for them, and which, if they do that, then the state will match that $500 bonus, making it a total of $2,000. Where's all this money coming from? Out of our pockets. Anyways, okay. So let me go back there and get rid of that article. Okay. And it froze. Okay, so that covers that one. That covers that one. Okay, now for the other one, which came out yesterday. And let me bring up that. I'm going to have some news feeds to share here. So let me get this ready here. Share screen. Share screen. Okay, which one do I want to put it on first? This one. Okay. Boom! There we come. Okay, so we got some. This came out yesterday evening, Eastern time. One of the largest truck stops in the nation, Love's Truck Stops, said Wednesday it is closely watching the diesel fuel supplies in the Northeast among growing concerns of nationwide shortages, but has no plans to limit purchases. Hey, Howdy Garden, how you go? Uncle Al, how's it going? Okay, so get this. Love says they're going to monitor it above concerns of nationwide shortages. All right. One of the things here, I'm going to switch ones here. Is this one? Is this it? Okay, this is another one. Another one about the same story. This is CDL Life News. Talks about Love's monitoring the situation, and drivers may see temporary fuel shortages in the Northeast states. Okay. That's the spin on it. Oh, they're monitoring. It may happen. Actual things, it's been going on for the last several days. Not only is Love Student Pilot is confirmed to the News 11 News that they're aware of concerns over diesel supply. They're putting their spin on it too. But then the news interviews some people is one trucker here said they were out of diesel and gas. Richmond was completely out. And that was at the Travel Centers of America, one truck driver said. And there's other someone else. He delivers a petroleum product. He saw shortage firsthand. And there's some other ones in here. I'm not going to get in too many of them so I don't get bumped off here. There is on Twitter several truckers that were talking about driving around up in Maryland and Connecticut, I believe it was. They went to a Love's, a Pilot, the Travel Centers of America. They went all, and everybody was out of diesel, already out. Those stations he was trying to go to was out, and I believe he said he had to go either to a Costco or a Sam's Club that sold diesel and sit there $100 at a pop time trying to fill up his truck. Fill it $100, re-swipe the card. $100, re-swipe the card. Okay. So that's already happening in the Northeast. All right, people. If you've seen some of the things, the live streams that I've done on it, that Dave from Southern Ohio Prepping has done on it, and a couple others talking about the supply chain. If the trucks don't have fuel to deliver the goods, what does that mean? Okay, I'm just going to leave that there. So basically, there's going to be delays. I'll use the proper term, delays in goods getting to where they're supposed to be getting. Call it what you want, but we know what I'm talking about here. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So there are going to be some problems with supplies getting around, and it's probably going as a domino effect from the Northeast right on across the country. And one of those articles in there, if I went back into it, was saying, yeah, they predict that's what's going to happen because, oh, they're running out there. We need to ship all the diesel from the West Coast to the East Coast. Yeah, know how that's going to go. And okay, well, we're just going to ship it on by train. And let's see, Union Pacific is limiting the number of cars in the trains they're hauling because they don't have enough crews to run full trains everywhere to drop off a lot of stuff and get everything going. Burlington Northern has crew problems as well. Yeah. It's going to be a bit difficult getting it from, some of that gas over there. By the time they get it over there, they may have some of the production facilities down there on the Gulf Coast up producing diesel again and getting it moving. And that's one of the things that some of the producers say, oh, we had to shut down because of the Red Dragon. We had to lay people off and couldn't run at full production rates and had to shut down for periods. Wait a minute. The fuel industry, the oil refinery stuff was declared an essential business, and we're not supposed to lay off anybody. And we're given the approval actually to hire extra people. Hey, Albany Mountain Homestead. I agree, but how bad the collapse is anybody's guess. It may just stumble and fall on its face and it's able to pick itself up fairly quickly. It may be laying there in the gutter going, help me, help me, help me. Who knows? But yeah, there's going to be problems. Oh, yeah, and that's the other thing too. If they're diverting limited fuel resources to one sector, transportation, and away from farming, yeah. So yeah, there's going to be problems there too. Okay, how am I going to do this? Let me do this right here. Drop that down, bring that back up. All right, so I'm going to drop, if any of the, all right, okay, let me do this right. I got to do this right. I'm going to drop the link in there, but I got to do it right. This is for all right, so the link is not out for everybody to use. It says used for those of you that have been commenting in my chat here for, months and stuff, which is everybody in the chat has been commenting here. I know everybody in the chat, seen you on multiple channels and stuff. So anybody in the chat that wants to come up here, there's the link to do it. And we can talk up here as well. Anybody have any concerns about stuff or things that they have heard going on, especially if you have a news link for it? Boom, you can put that in there. Hey, WD, how's it going? So we got Don in the house now. And so, you come on up, you can coming up here, we can talk about things and get kick back and forth ideas quicker than typing it in. But there's a lot of interesting things going on around in the world today, especially in the United States. And what's interesting is a lot of the stuff that I've been talking about tonight hasn't been carried too much on mainstream media. They may have given a little blip to it. Shout, oh, okay, we covered it. That's good. Hide it away. Some of the other stuff they don't even mention at all. So, okay. And there's Kaylin came up with the other one. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. And it's not just Iowa having problems with baby formula shortages. It's bouncing around. It's showing up in other places too. All right, and I need to check one thing out here real quick. Let's see, I'm doing a Google search here to see what I on something here. So yeah, okay. All right. Don, I'm going to steer away from that one. Okay. I'm just going to steer away from it because I don't want to get into that type of a discussion here. Because trying to go hindsight on something like that with all the stuff that went on with it, I don't want to really address it here. But baby formula is something that's going on right now. And I'm going to see if I can. There was a channel, and see if I can bring it up here, that I'm looking here. I'll show you, give you the link for it. There's a one. I think it's here. Maybe it was on Facebook. Shoot. Was talking about how it was someone was giving out recipes for making healthy baby formula. Not only because there's a shortage now, but to use just normally because it's healthier than the stuff you buy at the store. Okay, I don't see it on there. All right, I'm going to look at something else here real quick. See if it was on my fake book stuff. So it's coming up here. It may have been on. I think it was on Facebook on the Rebel Canners group. So if you guys want to know about canning and stuff on Facebook, look up Rebel Canners. That's the one run by Tammy. Rebel Canners on YouTube. She also has a huge Facebook group. And you're talking about hundreds of people in there posting all the time. I'm looking here, see if I can find that one real quick here because I haven't hit it, and it usually shows up all the time. All right. Dang. Okay. All right. I'm just going to go over there and see if I can look at the Rebel Canners site directly. Maybe I can find it quicker that way. But yeah, there was someone was posted several things over there about there's someone's water glassing. Uncle Al. Hey, how's it going?
Hi there. Oh, did you heard about the FDA okaying Abbott Food Factory reproducing those contaminated baby formulas to put out? It was in the FDA thing. Look under FDA on Abbott.
All right. Okay, Albany Mountain says it's a mix of pet milk and molasses. Somebody want to suggested goat's milk is an option as well. Yes, it is for those that have it. But there was one I thought out there that was not for those on a farm that had access to it.
I go with goat.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. Read it. If you can give an article in the New York Post with pictures.
That's probably Mexico or Canada.
No. Yeah. Down, it'd be the south. The southern border of the United States being stockpiled down there by Captain Crazy.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Joe, for putting Tammy's the link to Tammy's channel there. Homestead Corner had the two articles. Okay, cool. Oh, there. Yeah. So yeah. So you have someone that has a goat, That's an option. Yeah. Yeah, that's an old one, Rita, but I thought that they were posting something that didn't have all the sugar and stuff in it that was supposed to be more healthy. One of these more health conscious ones. But I was trying to find it here again,
right?
But I don't see it.
Okay, folks, be careful on the soy milk for infants. FDA banned that because it's not a milk, it's a drink, and it's harmful for infants under 1 year old. Do not use soy for babies. And they're putting it out, and already there's like soy reactions throughout the Midwest because my brother-in-law's a pediatrician, and he's warning people not to use soy-based compounds.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
Hey, Dustin, how you going?
Hey,
Jeremy, Tennessee Tactical One, how's it going?
Yep. But Abbott's, did you find the Abbott article?
No, I was just looking here trying to find that other one. But so, all right. So there's people throwing out articles here on where stuff's at. Do the research yourself. Check as much stuff as you can if you're in one of those things for it.
Right. People do research on Abbott. Abbott used to be the third biggest baby food producer, but they had a recall last year, and they made Abbott stop producing baby food stock. Mm-hmm. Now the FDA says, well, there's a good chance we need the baby formula, so you go ahead and pass the baby formula out.
They were probably cleaning up their act anyways, but
yeah, I
hope so. I hope so.
Rat poo is good for babies because I was kidding at that to Apartment Prepper because she did a real nice video on it, had the link and everything. Rat poo and Abbott baby milk, and they were making lots. Abbott had like.
There is something else here. Okay, hang on here. Let me switch chat things here. I got several things I want to bring up here in a second here. I want to go back. See, did I give Jeremy a? No, I didn't. You found the recipe. All right, hang on a second here. There you go, Jeremy. You now have a wrench, so you can post the link to that.
Did you see the one that Kaylin posted out for Homestead Corner?
Homestead Corner right there.
Yeah.
Okay. There's another link there for a video. So I'm just grateful that all of my grandsons are way past that stage. Now, here's what's interesting. It's a picture of the recipe. I have it. Okay, AVU8, Tennessee, if you email it to me, hopefully I can see it pop up here, and I will I can pull it up here and show it. There's a lot of things to be concerned about. Eggs right now is something else. There's been a lot of people posting prices of the increase from last year. Someone was posting like the one flats of eggs was $4 something last year, and now it's $13 a year later. Well, interesting thing is, though, there's a lot just now on the Rebel Canners Facebook page. As I was scrolling down here, I saw 4 or 5 posts where people were talking about doing some eggs, but water glassing them. So water glassing is a way using
which one? Lime or silicon silicate?
No, the caustic soda. I think it is the caustic soda.
No, lime. It's not caustic soda. You're going to make a stink bomb. It's hydrated lime.
Lime, then, yeah.
Okay, because if you add caustic soda and fresh farm eggs and then put it in a jar or a bucket, I wouldn't be living in your house, and your wife will kill you because
Yeah.
you'll never get that
Okay.
smell out
I'm
of the
trying to remember.
house.
Oh no, caustic soda is what's used for a Dutch oven repair. Hey, I got so much stuff up here. At 65, it's starting to get cross-connected.
Right. But if you did that formula to water glass eggs, I wouldn't be going near your house, and your wife is going to get the.
Yeah. So here's one of the ones on water glassing eggs that was done in here 5 hours ago, posted on there. There are several of them in here where they're talking about how to do it. So if you have chickens, or you have friends that have chickens, and you're able to get the eggs and stuff, you can start water glassing. Water glassing eggs will last over a year.
Right. But you have to be careful, folks. It has to be farm fresh because it needs the seal from the chicken.
Yeah.
And second thing is, when you're doing the lime solution, it has to be dissolved. A lot of people goof this up and leave an inch on the bottom of the glass jar, and you're not supposed to seal the top. That's another big mistake, because if you make one mistake and you have too much lime at the bottom and one of those eggs crack and it seals, what do you think is going to happen to that jar?
It's probably going to explode because you can have a chemical reaction.
Yeah. And what happens to your house?
It's going to stink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going
also, pickling lime is another name for it. Yeah, that's right.
Right. I do. Go ahead.
Yeah. There was one of the ones that was being posted. Someone was asking a question about someone else's post. Some companies post on it saying, all right, this is the way you do it. You use so much, thing. And they're using a ridiculous amount of the pickling soda, pickling lime. And so and everyone else was chiming in. No. You only need a tablespoon per pint or tablespoon per quart water or whatever it is. But this one was saying like you need a half a cup. So so check your recipes, make sure they're good and around.
Right. The easiest way to do this is when you dissolve the lime into the water, it's supposed to be cloudy, not murky. There's no sediment on the bottom. If you dissolve it in warm water, not boiling, and if you're doing hydrated lime, be very careful because hydrated lime and water don't mix. Okay?
Yeah.
Second thing is you have to do old school. I keep telling people this. Get a crock or a glass jar. Put your eggs in it. Pour in the solution slowly into the eggs. Cover it with a cheesecloth. If one floats up, it's a bad egg, and you throw it away. If the water goes down, you refill it. Do not seal it, because if one of the eggs burst, like crack, if it's sealed, you're going to have a chemical reaction. If it's open and you could check the egg, you pick it up and throw it away. Your house don't smell. You keep an eye on it because a lot of people goof this up.
All right, so
guys,
I'm throwing the link in right now on the New York Post article that she just emailed to me, and it's got I know I'll get dinged if I show this one, but I'm just the border detention center looks stocked with baby formula despite shortage. This was today, and it goes through this a lot of. So let's they got a little video, got a video clip on it too. So so there's something to go and check up on that there.
And I think it's Abbott too. Abbott's trying to get good graces again.
Yeah, and then there's another one for Abbott, the state of Texas governor. I don't know if I can share this one or not. I'm just going to read it here first. Governor Abbott, National Border Patrol Council released joint statement on Biden administration providing baby formula to illegal immigrants amid national shortage. Yeah, so they're he says our children are most vulnerable vulnerable. Precious Texas deserve to be put first. Yet Biden has turned a blind eye to parents across America. So I'm going to throw that link in there here. Hopefully that one will fit as well.
Kaylin got a good thing for eggs. You put them in freezer bags, and you could do that way. I use an ice tray, a plastic one, and I crack eggs into each one of it. I got the big size ice cube thing, and I freeze the eggs. And when I need an egg, I just pull it out of the
Yeah.
freezer and pop it in. It works fine.
Yeah. Hey, Chuck C, how's it going? Yeah. Yeah, that's what a lot of them are doing. And yeah, I know up here in Idaho we have a demon rat disguised as a Republican in office, because he actually on his one of the things had a on his ads, video ads he was putting out, had an endorsement from President Biden. If people realized what exactly what was going on that, hopefully he will have lost 3/4 of his supporters. Hey,
Right.
Emma, how's it going?
Hi, Emma. And Rita was right. The bloom on the egg has to be 24 hours. It has to be really fresh. And again, either crock or a glass jar. Plastic jugs, I have to warn people on it. It has to be food safe. It has to be a food safe bucket, because I've seen people do it in donut buckets, and some of those buckets I don't trust. And also, if the lime reacts to the plastic, it's not going to be a really nice. If you have nice floors, you used to have nice floors, because Gil knows what happens when rotten eggs and lime water seeps into your flooring.
Oh, yeah. Hey, CB is in the house. And there's the link for any of my peeps out there. And I think it's just about everybody chatting here. If you've been commenting on any of my pros, if you've been commenting on my channels and live streams for more than 6 months, yeah, I'll bring you up here. Hey, Albany Mountain, what do you got there? The government? And yeah, it's just too many people have seen this. Oh, I can go there, get paid lots of money, get great benefits, and not have to do any work. Yeah, and then I remember when we stood up a Homeland Security, we had a bunch of these idiots that were brought in by a contractor that was doing background checks. We spent half our time firing them and getting rid of them. I mean, over at TSA, they brought in like 45,000 people. In the first year, they got rid of 20,000 of them because no, you failed your background. When they did a real background on, not this a fake one that was being done by the contractor, and the contractor was 3 months in, the contractor was fired.
Right. Rita's right. If you put too much lime in the water, it'll reset on the bottom of the jar.
Yeah.
I don't do that kind of mixture. My mixture, I have litmus paper and I test the lime water, because you could do it too much and then that causes another weird chemical reaction. So you have to be careful. Yeah. Use only the amount to preserve the egg. And if you don't, does anybody knows Chinese 1,000-year-old eggs?
I've heard about them.
Okay. That's the same problem they have. You put too much lime in the solution and try to preserve them, because these eggs they're on store shelves in every Oriental shop. They'll last for 2 years, but their preserving problem is correct liming solution. If you don't do it right, a lot of those eggs is people like, what the?
Yeah. And the thing is, though, with all the experience people have nowadays, and all the thing right now, you can look it up on most things, and you can find, and most of them agree the exact same amount to put in. So follow the directions of, not the weird one that says half a cup per quart of water. No.
Right. Also, experience, because I've been doing this for a long time. Experience is the best teacher. Once you stink up your house, you'll never do that again.
Yeah.
Period. Because your family will kill you.
Yeah. All righty. I'm just trying to keep an eye on the stuff here.
I got another thing. On people who's dehydrating eggs in the home dehydrator kits, you got to get it 160 degrees or hotter, because if you don't kill salmonella. All you're doing is making powdered salmonella. When I dehydrated eggs, I use the oven.
Yeah.
I got a little tabletop
Yeah,
oven.
I heard something about that. Because basically, if you don't have it hot enough, you got a petri dish there just going nuts.
Right. You get salmonella, E. coli, and then you grind it up, make it into a powder.
All right.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
a question here. I'm guessing that this is about the eggs that have been water glassed. You know, in the pickling line. Do they taste different?
Nah, not really. If you scramble them, it's not bad. If you use it for cooking, not a problem. If you cook it and fry it, you can tell the difference between a fresh egg and a limed egg. It's a big change in taste.
Yeah.
But if you're hungry, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why, as far as powdered eggs and stuff go,
yeah.
I personally, rather than doing it myself, we have number 10 cans of powdered egg with the nitrogen filled oxidant absorbers and moisture absorbers in it.
Yeah, but what Gil's talking about in the number 10 can, that's airborne. The yolk and the albumin's all scrambled up, and it's forced through a convention jet into a chamber that's 160 degrees hot. And once the hot air hits the spray and falls to the ground, what do you got?
It's almost cooked.
Yeah, it's dehydrated eggs, and it puts into the container. The
Yeah.
trouble at 140, it's a petri dish. You got to get it hotter. Use an oven. Kaylin? Use an oven. Don't use your dehydrator. It's too cold. Yeah, it gets watery. When you crack open the egg and it's really watery, that's at limit. So you got to start using it.
And if it's really watery, that's stuff you use like in cake mixes and your baking and stuff.
Right. And don't on lime eggs again. Do not use it for powdered eggs because I see people. Well, I'll just dehydrate it or put it in the oven. No, don't do that.
Hey, Skinner Farms, how's it going?
I've seen people doing a lot of weird thing on canning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff things going on right now, and I know that which is really unique and kind of makes me proud too. My youngest son, for the last year, has been stockpiling stuff down there with all his spare money he can. He's been buying bags of rice. He's been buying the gas cans and filling them up and putting them in the back, adding fuel treatment to them. And so, because he basically says, if we need to get out of here, we want to be able to take everything and have enough gas to get us out of the state of California and across over to Wells, Nevada before we have to fill up again.
Another trick I tell people, parchment paper. When you use the oven and a cookie tray, put parchment paper on the bottom. Then you pour in your egg solution that you scrambled up and put in there. And at 160 to 220, depending which book you're reading, I do 160 because I could adjust it. Then it's all right. Because most dehydrators don't get that hot.
Okay, I see what you're putting up, because Emma on this comment here should say did on YouTube did a taste test of water glassed eggs not too long ago. There's another channel, Homesteading Family, has done taste tests, and they've done a 1 year, and I think they did a 2 year thing on the eggs that they water glassed.
Yeah, like I said, folks, with eggs you have to be really careful. Yeah, that one's a good one.
Yeah, Deep South Homestead as well. Yeah.
Also, Page Family Homestead did theirs, and they came close to having those eggs explode because they put it in a glass jar, forgot them, when Andy went into for cancer treatment, forgot
Yeah.
it all about it, and the jar was starting to.
Yeah. Now, other option there on this, I know right now, with the runaway inflation and the prices and stuff of everything going up, most people do not want to take this time to invest in a freeze dryer. But for doing eggs, I've heard nothing but great things about freeze drying. You
Right.
get a lot. You got a lot better results and stuff on it with that.
Yeah. On that one, make sure you use parchment paper, not the tray itself,
Yeah.
because
Or
yeah,
come on, brain work.
silicone sheets.
No, yeah. I was trying to say who posted it on their channel, and put the links out there. I think it was Teresa at Stringfield Ridge Farm put out the links at from Amazon on it, and actually, I think I have that here.
Okay, whoever thought of this crazy idea, I keep telling them, do not freeze dried shrimp unless you know what you're doing. Some guy freeze dried raw shrimp, and shrimp has to be cooked. You cannot freeze dry raw shrimp. I keep telling people that. You want to get botulism and sick, freeze dry raw shrimp. Has
All right.
to be cooked.
This, oh, wow. Okay, we got two. I got a bonus thing here for you guys. Okay, so, so I bring this up here. The Magic Mill Food Dehydrator has gone on sale again. It's back down to $139.99. It jumps up to like $179 and then drops down for a week at $139.99. And that's the 7-tray model. But below it here is the Swiss roll flexible jelly tray rolls thing. Let me blow that up here. Yeah, so you can use it for making jelly rolls, but you can also use it for dehydrating on the sheets and stuff, the liquid stuff like eggs and stuff like that. That way you just pick it out and just
froze again.
It just comes right off it when you're all done. You kind of, wiggle it around, it comes off it. So, yeah.
Right. When you use that, I tell people to put it through a blender to powderize it. It's a lot easier. If you do it in the roll and you don't have it completely dry, that's why I use baking sheets. You're going to see something weird happen.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be pleasant.
These just jelly roll sheets here actually have a lip on them. So when you put them on your tray to fit inside your dehydrator, it has a lip on there so it works and stuff. Of course, you can also put those straight in the oven as well, too.
Right. There was one video, but you took it off. It's a guy who goofed up on the solution and put it in a plastic bucket with 40 store-bought eggs. Boy, was his wife was mad at him.
Yeah.
Because he opened it up in the kitchen. 40 store-bought eggs in a plastic bucket, and he sealed it and put it in the garage. Not in a cool, dark place, but in the garage. And then he's stupid enough to put it on top of the kitchen table.
And open. Oh. All right. Emma said here, yes. If those of you saw my reply to my VR reply to Sweet Pea Sid's inspirations on the prepper library, I went out to the cargo container and I showed a couple of the bundles of the old Mother Earth news that were from back when I was under 20 years of age.
Yeah,
those were my mom's, and when she died, everyone was going to throw them out. I go, nope, I'm keeping these, and I just packed. I got several boxes of them still in California to bring up here and to catalog and stuff.
Right.
But, yeah,
those are really good. And I remember that article. You can oil the eggs with vegetable oil. You can wax the eggs. I don't recommend it because you have to get the wax. You can't dip the eggs into the wax. You have to pour the wax onto the eggs. You ever try to pour hot wax on eggs?
I wouldn't want to try it.
No. Because some guy dipped it and, hot wax and eggs, All
right. What's the name? It turns out if you buy eggs, the best way to keep them is in the carton you bought in the fridge. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So store-bought eggs are washed and everything. So that shortens their lifetime down, and you got to keep them in the store. Albany says has Nesco trays. Okay.
Yes.
And and Dustin was just typing about oiled eggs.
The only
Hey,
problem with
Dustin, I put the link in there a couple times if you want to come up here.
yeah, come up.
One of the things to remember, about eggs. All right. My view on eggs right now, if you have enough land to let your chickens free range type stuff in a large run and whatever, and you are growing excess certain vegetables and stuff you can feed to them. Oh, and they love cucumbers, they love zucchinis. So you can get yourself two different varieties of chickens. You get the ones that lay a bunch of eggs, and you got the meat birds. And you can actually, if you have enough natural food to feed your chickens, so besides having to buy the grain and the mesh and stuff, you can actually pay for having to buy the grain and stuff from selling the eggs. It also helps out if on your mash that you're feeding the chickens. Depending on your area, how hot it gets and how humid it is. Dustin's working. Okay, is that you ferment the feed. There are plenty of videos out there. Naked Gardener did one on it. Keeping It Dutch did one on it a couple years ago. There's been a bunch of them talking about it. You mix water in with your grain, but you have several buckets, and each bucket is what you're going to feed them in a day. So you have like 4 buckets set up, one ready to go, one day one with day 2 of water, and one in day 3, which you're going to use. And you just rotate your buckets. If it gets really hot, you may cut that down to just 2 days, fermenting for just 2 days. Because it'll cook off quick on you. But what it does is, as it ferments, it starts breaking down the corn mash, the grain mash and stuff. And so when the chickens eat it, A, it has moisture in it. B, it's partially digested. So when they eat it, they get more from it, more nutrients and everything from it, and poop less nutrients out.
Right.
Because
just make sure you add grit.
Yeah.
Because chickens don't have teeth.
Yeah.
Another thing.
One thing real quick, I'll hang on that thought. The reason you want to worry about that is you've heard about the saying, like crap through a goose. Well, that's what a lot of the food, about 50% of the food you're feeding, or the dry food you're feeding the chicken, goes right on through, never gets digested by the chicken. So by using the fermenting method, you can save 50% on your feed bill, because you're giving them 50% less food because they are getting everything from it.
Right. If you use brewer's yeast, it's an old trick. What Gil's talking about. Mm-hmm. You put a little brewer's yeast in to help ferment, and it does. It provides vitamin B1, B12, B2, and it's better for the chickens. On night, How to Garden and Hello Robert of Homestead Aquarius, and he was right on the mineral oil on the eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say, but the trouble with oiling eggs is they're kind of slippery. You do 40 eggs and you find out.
Yeah. Hey, Dustin, I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was my daughter's geese weren't too thrilled about it, but the turkeys loved it. And the Rhode Island Reds and and especially the White Cornish Cross, those chickens just loved it.
Right, because it's two different fowls. Ducks prefer their food and geese prefer their food dry. They don't like it wet. Chickens love it if it's slightly fermented, and if you give them a beer, it's even better.
Yeah,
But I'm not spending my beer money on
yeah,
chickens.
yeah. The stuff that ducks like wet is stuff they get out of the water, like the little worms and the other stuff swimming around, that
Yeah,
they go after.
yeah, but they prefer their mash and their grains dry.
Yeah,
Because once it wet, they don't touch it. Chickens love it. They go after like nuts.
yeah. And this is the important thing. Um, if you're in a really hot area, like down at the Broussards right now, down there in Louisiana, where they're just dying, um, you don't want to go very, very long. And it depends the time of day you start it and the time of day you use it. Naked Gardener was saying like I think he said like 24 hours. Sometimes he may cut it back to 48 hours may cut it back to 24 if it's really hot and it starts cooking off really quick on the fermentation. And
Right. It
heat
turns
has a
into
lot to do with that.
right because also the fermented mash or grains turns into alcohol or fermented alcohol. Chickens will not touch that. Also, turkeys they'll just run the other way.
Yeah. All right. Get rid of that. There's
So go ahead, Gil.
yeah. I'm just having a thought. You're just thinking about trying to remember something else. Oh, per pound, cost per pound, and expenditures going into it. I'm trying to remember this right. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. If I get mixed up here, correct me. I believe rabbits is the cheapest, then chickens, then goats, then pigs, then beef.
Okay, I think you missed this. It's close.
Yeah.
I
So
think
if
you
you have
missed this.
if you can't have a cow, chickens and rabbits.
Or carp. Carp leads the top list.
Yeah, but that's dictates having a pond to put it in.
Right. And then it's followed by quail, chickens, ducks, geese, the
Yeah.
fowls. And then it's guinea pigs, rabbits. Guinea pigs, rabbits. I forgot the third one. A lot of people don't grow it in America, but overseas they do.
Well,
And
the
I can't
guinea pigs
remember.
are big down in South America
Right.
and some other
And
foreign
then,
countries as well.
right, like Peru. I'm used to Peru. The guinea pigs is like a New Zealand giant. And then rabbits. And then, let's see, goats, sheep, donkeys. Like I said, other countries eat other
Okay,
meals.
here we go. Albany Mountain says quail is the cheapest. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that to consider, everybody thinks about, I'm going to be raising food. And this has becomes sort of a touchy subject with some people. Hunting. Of course, you don't want to get too dependent on hunting because if things get really bad, all of a sudden everybody's going to be going out hunting, and if you haven't developed raisable food at home, you could be in a sore spot. But
Right.
I know around here, deer, elk, and moose are things they can hunt around here, and with special permits, I believe, because some of the bison have wandered down this way a little bit from up in Montana. Bison may be available at certain times, and I think that's a really hard permit to get here.
Right. I do warn people on hunting. If you never hunted and processed wild game, learn.
Yes.
Because Uncle Alan's getting old. I can't process anymore.
Yeah. Let me find it. There's where is it under books? Let me see if it's under books or if it is under
You
hunting.
showed it on your last live stream. Wild game and butchering. The red book.
Yeah, the blue books I have here. I'm digging down here. Scrolling down here. Where are those other books at?
You had one for wild game. How to butcher wild game.
Yes, there's one. There's something for beef, for chicken. Okay, I know I have them set up here. I just haven't pulled the trigger on buying them yet. I'm looking through my wish list here. hang on, let me check this other one. I got too many wish lists. I'm still going through organizing it and moving stuff into the proper more. Every time I add a new wish list, I move stuff around into it. Okay, let me do it the other way here. If I don't find it here at the bottom of this one here, publishing.
Right. While you're looking for that, I'll answer some questions. Robert from Homestead Aquarius, blue modem is your idea for eggs and meat and for squab. Also, they could use as carrier pigeons so you can communicate between communities. They're fairly easy and they're easy to raise. Gear Rider, if that happens, you got to be careful. You're not part of the hunting list because a lot of people are not hunters.
Butchering.
And then whatchamacallit? Also, if you're in Texas, it's open season year round if you want to hunt pork, but you have to watch out for trichinosis and what's the other pig disease in Texas?
Shoot. I'm not sure.
We said this before on another.
Yeah, I know. It's just like I said, so much information. It's like,
it's leaking out of your ears.
It's leaking out of the ears. It's running out of the nose. It's all right. Here we go. Okay. Butchering Poultry, Rabbit, Lamb, Goat, Pork by Adam Danforth. I got that on my wish list somewhere else, and there's another one like that. Let me see if I click on it because there's several of these blue books that have different ones on it. That yeah, here you go. Here's the one of the other ones, and beef. All right, so and this is by Adam Danforth. So he's got several books out there, and hardcover $37, paperback $21, Kindle $9. Yeah, if you have multiple Kindles in your family, you buy one person buys it and shares it with everybody else in your family. You gotta make sure your family, everyone in your family is on the family thing, so you can share it to all of them, and that way you have multiple copies around.
Right, and if you're going to do domesticated and wild game, you have to keep your tools separate. I keep telling that to people because you cannot
have a good sterilizing system to sterilize it. One of those autoclaves.
Autoclaves, that's it.
Yeah. And the one for poultry, rabbit, lambs, goats, and pork is
frozen.
The one here for all the smaller game is $10.49. Actually, I may get that for my daughter for her birthday. So, but yeah, there's a lot of when you're coming to that stuff. Oh, Tennessee Tactical Gold, you gave me a great idea, and I'm surprised Kaylin didn't pop it out there already. Thrift shops. Look for the books at thrift shops, used bookstores. You can probably find some of these books, older books, dirt cheap.
I want to bring this one up. If you're in an ag community like Idaho or where I live, they have colleges that have courses on butchering and processing. You have to get the right one because they have small animal and they have beef and sheep. That's two different courses and it's expensive.
Actually,
especially beef.
You got gave me an idea of something to do here. I flipped to the back of the book here and started a note here for my daughter. Up here in Idaho, they have, over here we're at, there's the University of Southern Idaho's here, and it's a big one and stuff. But 45 minutes north in Rexburg is Brigham Young University, which was started as an agricultural university. So I'm going to have my daughter check if they have butchering classes up there still.
Yeah, and if they do, they should have it online. So check that too.
Yeah, BYU has the online program for church members, and since and for my daughter to go up there, it's dirt cheap.
And like I said, if you're butchering wild game, know your diseases of your wild animals. You don't want to pick up. I can't remember. I was talking in my last video about this. It's a type of disease that you get from the blood of the animal. And
Yeah.
once you get it, nobody's going to go near you for about 6 months until you
Well,
take a
there's something
lot
else
of.
in certain areas of the country. There's the I know it's bigger back east, the wasting disease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then over here, it's some kind of other blood transmitted disease, and it's usually for bighorn sheep and whatchamacallit, the
Yeah.
other little mountain goat that people shoot. I can't remember.
Not sure. I've never hunted goats.
It's around Colorado and Utah mountain area where bighorn sheep is.
Yeah. All right. Caitlin says it's been found in Iowa. I know it's been found up in Ohio and Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Kentucky, I believe.
Oh, I remember one other disease. In Tennessee, you have to be careful of wild rabbits. Some idiot let loose a strain of hemorrhagic fever to the rabbit population to kill the vermin rabbit, and it backfired. It mutated into RDH2, not RDH1. That's the one they used in Australia to kill the rabbits.
Yeah.
It mutated and hopped into the wild rabbit population. The wild rabbit population in America don't really care, and they survived. But unfortunately, it ruined the commercial rabbit industry in the East Coast in certain areas, and it's transmittable to human. You don't want to get hemorrhagic fever, folks.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so let's shift gears here, folks. All right, so actually, I'm coming up on. Let me make sure I get it right here. I got to check my list. That is so. In a couple weeks, over on Camp Patton Family Compound is going to be the topic's going to be which one food would you grow in your garden? So everyone, think about it. Look at what you're growing and think, what is the one food that you currently grow that produces the most for you? Biggest bang for the buck and the biggest bang for the effort. So think about.
Froze again.
I froze. And I froze when I was looking at Garden States Gardens comment there. There's think about that and the thing that you get the most from, and you might want to consider, if you can, expanding that product that you get the most from. Joe was saying, what about foxes? I know people hunt fox. I know that it was big over in England. It was big back east. I haven't heard any people talking about hunting foxes. Rita, I have people in West Virginia. They do the possum hunt all the time. Possums, though, taking out the possum population is a double-edged sword, because possums eat ticks and other, carry Lyme disease, and they're impervious to Lyme disease. So possums eat the ticks. Don't have to worry about Lyme disease. Possums don't get rabies. Well, very, very, very rarely do they get rabies. Possums actually do a lot of good stuff. They're not as bad as
Raccoons.
Yeah, sorry, the mask, the little hands. Yeah.
Right. On the possum again, they eat a lot of vermin. They eat crickets, roaches, ticks, you name it. They're vacuum cleaners. So you have one of those in your yard, they'll clean up everything.
Yeah.
So, and for me, I always grow butternut squash because cows like it, chickens like it, ducks like it, turkeys like it. I like it. But
Yeah.
I can't eat two tons of butternut squash.
No. And that's the thing that I like about squash. If you have certain animals, you get a ton of squash. It's one of those ones that just puts out a ton of food, and you can feed it to, the other animals and stuff. Cows love patty pan squash. Our milk cows loved it. When my mom planted the patty pans too close to the cow pen, they broke the fence down to get over there, and they decimated it. And when we got them out of there, it still was producing a ton of squash.
Yeah. Because in the old days, what the early settlers used to do is feed pumpkins to cows. And
okay, so perennial plants make the most food, for little effort. Yeah.
That's why I have trees in my backyard.
Rita, if you're talking about the possums, I know this is cliche from the Beverly Hillbillies talking about, let's go have some possum pie. When I was in West Virginia, people were actually talking about making possum stew and possum, so,
I prefer eating raccoon and beaver. It's more oily. Possum's too dry for me.
I'm sorry. I prefer a good cow.
No, I
like my beef.
I like raccoon because it's a dark meat and you can make sausages. And I made sausage once out of it with pig lard and pig fat. And my nephews can tell the difference. You just add a lot of sage into it and they say, wow, what a great sausage, Uncle Al. Yeah, it's blood sausage. I didn't tell him it was raccoon.
Yeah. Oh. Emma? No.
Too small, Emma. I have to catch like 20 of them.
Yeah.
You ever try to catch 20 gophers?
Yeah, I mean that's to me that's along the lines of hamsters and quail. Too
hard
small.
to eat.
Yeah. I don't know. Of course, it also depends on the variety of quail, how big the quail get, and the
it's easy to clean. You just clip off the head, clip off the wings, and there's a nice little what do you call it? What do you call those little chickens you buy at the grocery store? Not Cornish cross.
I'm
getting like Gil here.
Oh yeah, shoot.
You seen it?
Yeah, there's this like this, not squab. That's pigeon. But
yeah, I ate squab, so it's not that. It's the other thing. It's a little chicken.
It's a little bitty fryer type thing, and it's I can't remember it.
I can't think of the word. It's a type of breed of
Cornish hens, not Cornish cross. Cornish hens.
Cornish cross is like,
yeah.
You know how big those things get.
Oh yeah, my daughter. The first time she did the white Cornish cross, she did. They were feeding him a little bit, and I showed him the video from I think it was Keeping It Dutch on doing the fermentation. All of a sudden, those chickens in a couple of weeks went boom. They're like small turkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emma.
So. All right, I've been up here for an hour, so it's now midnight in Central Time. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up with a couple things here. Like we've talked about. What's the word I'm looking for?
Supplies.
Revisit everything we talked tonight. So. Started out talking about California's insane inflation going on there, and the law they passed that gave everyone $15 an hour minimum wage because the inflation is so much, it kicked up. Oh, okay. Starting in June, it's going to be $15.50, and which is going to kick off another little round of inflation because employers are going to pass it on.
Right.
We talked about. Let me look at the thing here. We talked about
night, Kaylin.
The lunar eclipse coming this Sunday. This Sunday night is the lunar eclipse, the blood moon lunar eclipse. So check that out this Sunday. You can Google it, and it'll give you some different ones that'll tell you how and where to watch it best. Then we talked about the diesel fuel problems in the Northeast right now. They're saying, "Oh, we're watching for the supply to make sure it doesn't happen." Well, hey, there's already been a bunch of trucks reporting numerous truck stops that are out of fuel. All right. Talked about the baby food stuff. Let me drop down and go through this stuff here. These baby food. Talked about eggs, storing eggs, water glass in them, dehydrating them, that stuff there. We got into butchering, animals and stuff. Expand your garden.
Hunting.
Hunting, yeah. Expand your garden. Anything you can do to get food. Caitlin just put out a video today on her patio, or her balcony garden. And it looks a lot bigger than she did last year. So, yeah. There's a lot of things you can do to expand your ability to grow or get your own food, so you're not spending the money at the market.
Right.
Oh, my tomato plant. Hang on a second here. Let me pop this up here. Visual backgrounds.
Aren't you supposed to get some tomatoes on that thing?
Oh, hang on. Where is it? There it is. Boom. Okay. So this one right here now has 10 tomatoes on it. Yeah. And I spent yesterday evening and this morning with the Q-tip going around and pollinating.
Good.
So
I use a paintbrush, for water painting.
Yeah.
That works better. I got tired of the Q-tip.
Yeah, Q-tip, I just kind of do it underneath, rub it on top of the next one and go back and forth and just go around and do it.
Yeah.
And
I only got one tomato on my plant outside, but I've been having so much trouble with bugs and birds and insects. And he froze again. Oops. Now we lost Gil. And Gil's back.
My camera, the driver up there, I guess, fuzzed up because it wasn't the internet, it was the camera that froze up that time. Because I didn't get my little circle there saying trying to communicate. It was just like,
yeah.
Yes.
But look, your garden looks great, Gil.
Oh, this one here, this tomato here is twice as tall as it was there. I take a new picture. This probably has about 5 or 6 more leaves on the rainbow chard. The two basil here are probably about 50 to 75% taller.
Have you put any ladybugs out there?
Not in here because I haven't done. This is all indoors, so
right.
I don't.
If you do it indoors, you don't get lacewings. You don't get.
I haven't. The only thing I've had has been gnats and mosquitoes, and the mosquitoes have been eating the gnats. The mosquitoes have not been coming after me, and every now and then I take the shop vac and I go around about an inch above the soil. And just, run the shop vac, and you can see little gnats go, whoop,
yeah.
And I vacuum up gnats. So right now, gnats are not a big problem, and I'm crossing my fingers that I can keep the gnats down as a problem. Yeah, I've heard that too, Albany Mountain, about jiggling them, but the way that the blossoms are facing different directions, if they're facing down, if I just jiggle it, it's going to go straight down. It's not going to go to the flowers next to them. So I just take the Q-tip and go, spend about 5 minutes, and I touch them all twice, and so they're good. And I'm starting to get more and more blossoms now. I mean, not blossoms, blooms that are setting.
Yeah. And like I said, folks, make sure you plant a lot this year. We're having wild weather. SD Mountain Man had a southern freak storm, and if you ever seen his short, it's like what Gil faced. What was it? 3 weeks ago?
It may have been a month ago by now.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, it's like, what the hell's going on around here?
Wind, snow, hail, tornado. Yeah. Who knows? But be very careful on the weather. I've been telling people this because me and my meteorological friends are arguing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It hailed.
One of the things though that my wife got for me, but I haven't used it yet because I haven't actually gotten to this point, was so when I do a row of actually put tomatoes in the ground, I'm doing a row. She has the little hoop things that I go out there and put over it as soon as I plant them for the first month or so to protect the tomatoes in the ground from frost, hail, and stuff like that. So it helps keep all the heat in there, protects them.
Right. And also, I have to warn people because I had a few trolls on my videos, and they were asking me, why don't you do other countries? If I did, everybody would be mad at me because I warned India about a month ago for a heat wave. And guess how hot is it in India?
Let's see. Boiling eggs on the sidewalk.
No, it's when wild animals come into town begging for bottles of water.
Yeah.
That's how hot it is in India. Their monsoon season's supposed to occur right now. They don't have a monsoon season. It's like my weather over there. It's like 116 in some areas, even hotter.
Yeah. All right, let me take care of that. All right. So coming up next week for Camp Patton. Oh, I just realized something.
What?
We don't have. There's our names. So on Camp Patton Family Compound on Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern, the topic is going to be, are you ready for bees? And then Tuesday, on Tactical Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern is shelters. Basically, I put down as fall shelters because I added this to the list about 2.5 months ago when everybody's going crazy with the big red bear over there, picking on the little guys and with the John Deere tractors. And everyone was saying, "Oh, they're going to launch," and no. But I just talk about it because basically, even if it is a fallout shelter, it's probably still good for tornadoes and earthquakes and a few other things too.
Not flooding.
Not unless that shelter's on a hump up on a hill and it's
right. Froze again.
Yeah, froze again. Dug into the top of the hill. Then it's good for flooding too.
Right, but if it's below the hill, no.
So that's what's coming up this week. Next week on Monday for Camp Patton Family Compound is the which one item would they grow, and this is going to be everybody in the chat talking about why they're going to be growing. I want everybody in the chat talking about why they're growing a specific item, so we can all learn from each other why someone's picking a specific item. And then next Tuesday is going to be on Tactical Tuesday is going to be talking about neighborhood situational awareness, knowing what's going on in your neighborhood.
If you've got good neighbors, they know what you're doing. They know what I'm doing. Sometimes they're scared from old Uncle Al.
So there's you need to know who are the good guys and the bad guys and the weird ones in your neighborhood.
Right.
All right.
Like the guy who's a convict.
Oh, daughter graduates tomorrow evening. Woo!
Congratulations.
Yay. All righty. All right. So we're going to wrap it up here. And so the last words, everybody remember, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps. Water, number one item, water, food, medicines, clothing, gardening, enlarge your gardening and increase your skills. Learn more skills. All right. See you around. Take care.